Hey guys, so today I got a pretty crazy video to share with you. All the stuff I have on my table, I actually saved from the trash. I saved from the landfill. And it's a pretty incredible story, I guess, how it all came to be. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring you in and let's get started. All right, so as you see, I've got a table full of stuff here. I'll kind of pan the table here and show you some of the stuff here. And like my title says of the video, and like I just mentioned, I saved all of this from the trash, from the landfill. And so the way all this came to be is last Saturday evening I was riding through my neighborhood and I saw a curb that was just full of stuff. Obviously a house had been gutted and emptied. I mean, it was unreal, all the household items and different things that were on the curb. And so I actually got out and I was just curious what the stuff was, And as soon as I walked up to the stuff that was there, and it was a massive amount of stuff, the very first thing I saw was this picture of this man, and that's a duplicate of it there. That was in the top of a box, basically looking at me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a World War II sailor, right? And so little by little, I started kind of digging around and stuff, and I found, his discharge papers. And I found out the man's name was Julius Dudley Moore, and he actually was discharged October 27th of 1945. He was actually a Navy Seabee. So, it started getting dark and everything, and I was trying to use the light on my flashlight on my phone to, to get what I could. And so I actually went back 4 times the next day, which was Sunday. I made 4 trips digging because I knew trash pickup was going to be within a couple days, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's no telling what else might be in all of this trash, or stuff that's been thrown out with the trash. And so every time I went, I found more and more items of this man's service. And I actually found a little envelope, which was the envelope was torn, but there, right here, this pile, there's over 100, there's probably 150 photos from World War II. And it is just unreal. A lot of these are photos, from overseas and stuff. I wish I had time to show y'all all of them. But there's photos of planes and equipment and different sailors and people from, other countries and stuff. It is just unreal, all the photos that were in that envelope. And like I said, I kept finding more and more stuff. And again, here's a copy of his discharge. Again, Julius Dudley Moore. He was a ship fitter first class, or on a ship fitter first class. Again, October 27th, 1945. And then, on the back side here, it's got, he was born on October 13th of 1918. I actually found that he was, again, born October 13th of 1918. And I found this on Find a Grave. He passed away on March 26th of 1995. So he was 76 years old. He passed away 30 years ago. And, I, again, just kept uncovering more and more stuff. And this is pretty interesting right here. It says, to my darling wife with love, and it says Dudley. So evidently he went by his middle name. He didn't go by Julius, his first name. This photo here says the same thing, to my darling wife with love. And again, discharge papers. It actually, I have his certificate of death papers there. Just all kind of stuff. That's him right there with some buddies. And just so many photos and stuff from the war. He actually enlisted. He enlisted on, let me see when it was. It was on January 21st of 1943. And so he was actually 24 years old when he enlisted. And so, again, he served for a total of 2 years and 9 months. And I'm so thankful I was able to save all this stuff. Again, here's some other photos of him. There's him. He's kind of, I guess, kind of scruffy there. He's got a beard in that photo right there. And that looks like a school photo or something there. He was actually in, let me share this with you. There's so much to cover. I wish I had an hour, but he was in the 69th U.S. Naval Construction Battalion. So again, he was in the Seabees. And this is a Theater of Operations book here. And unfortunately, it got kind of wet and stuff. But pages are stuck together and different things. But it's pretty interesting to find out the unit he was in. There's actually this pillow sham here says mother and dad, and at the bottom it says Newfoundland. I'm 39 years old and I've never been able to pronounce that word or that place, Newfoundland. But there's this hymnal book here. There's just so much stuff here. I actually found this photo of Stan Musial, the St. Louis Cardinal baseball great. It says best wishes Stan Musial, but I don't think that's live ink, except it says to Ralph, and then there's something there at the bottom. But I think it's maybe a copy of a photo, and then somebody just wrote to Ralph and everything. It'd be pretty cool if that was originally a signed photo. This is the man here with, I guess, maybe his grandson later in life. And there's him again. Again, there's a lunch menu here from Christmas of '44 in England. It's just unreal, the stuff that's here. Got his autopsy report. There's a scrapbook here that's actually from his son. He had a son who passed away in 2021, about 4 years ago, and all of this stuff, I believe, was in the son's house, and it got thrown to the curb, unfortunately. Obviously, don't know the circumstances around it, but I have some of his son's military paperwork. He was a Marine Corps Reserve and different stuff there, but again, he passed away 4 years ago. Just some other stuff here. This is the man was I believe he was Catholic, and so this is Dudley Moore, and this he was enrolled in this by this certain family and everything. I don't know a whole lot about this type stuff, but there's that there. There's some birthday cards here. It's just crazy, all the stuff that's just here. I'm trying to remember what all it is. Let me see. Again, this is a guest book from his retirement party. He retired, and these are people that came to his retirement party. It was December 15th of 1982. This right here is a guest book as well from his retirement party. This actually says December 31st, so not sure about that. Maybe he had two different parties, but a lot of people attended his retirement party or parties. This right here is like a newsletter from the unit he was in. It says 1st March 1944, and just information about the 69th. I've been kind of researching, trying to find more information on that unit myself. This right here is a memorial tribute. Not sure who that is, if that was a relative or what of his, but let me see. Again, there's a photo of the Lord, and again, this is, I'm not even sure 100%. I guess it was a family member or something, but again, birthday cards, retirement stuff. This right here is let me see. And this is his birthday, date of death. This would have been, I guess, at his funeral, like a guest book at his funeral. Yeah, that's what it is. So for people, in loving memory. Again, just people that attended this man's funeral in 1995. There's actually photos here as well. I forgot about this. There's photos underneath these World War II photos from his retirement party. And let me find them here. These are just, I guess, random kind of family photos and stuff. But see right here, it says happy retirement, Dudley. And you see it's got appliances right there. He was actually an appliance salesman for Whirlpool, and he actually worked for Sears Roebuck and Company. And something interesting is at his retirement party, I don't know if he was in Mexico or just at a Mexican restaurant or what, but there was actually like, I guess, a belly dancer there. There's a lady in several photos dancing in front of him and stuff, and I guess his friends or, the other people that attended. See, there's a big retirement cake right there. See, it says Sears Retirement Express. There's that same woman there dancing for him, and again, she's in several photos. None of them are nude or nothing like that, but she was actually evidently giving him a good time for his retirement party. Probably he might have embarrassed him a little bit, but see, she's actually kind of sitting backwards in his lap right there. But pretty interesting, going through obviously this man's life, and just looking over all these photos. Like I said, I wish I had time to show them all to you, but it's just unreal, what's here. And just some other things. So, you know, I've always thought it'd be interesting to find stuff like this, you know, that's being thrown away. But it's kind of twofold, I guess, because I don't want to see stuff like this thrown away. On the other hand, I want people to save it and keep it and everything. And again, the man had a son who passed away. From what I gather, that man didn't have a wife. I think he had like a girlfriend he was living with or something. And also I should tell you that this veteran, his wife passed away in 2012. So his wife passed away, his son passed away. And they were married for, what was it? They got married in, let me see. I'm looking at so many things here. They got married in 1941, and they were married until 1995. So they were married about 50, almost 54 years before he passed. This right here is actually his registration card here. See, October 13th, 1918, was from Mississippi. And just, again, kind of looking at my papers and stuff from online, there's just, you know, information about him, you know, when he went into the service and stuff like that, where he worked before going into the war, or I'm sorry, into the service, you know, during the war years and stuff. Just a little bit of stuff after life and everything. But again, he was 76 when he passed away. And something interesting is I actually have a foot locker, which I was going to include it in this video. But the only thing is, though, it's in kind of rough condition, and it has a very strong smell, like some kind of a chemical type smell. I would bring it in the house, but it just smells really strong, so it's actually out in the garage. But something interesting, though, even though it's in really rough condition, it actually has USO on it. And it actually has a couple names, Sue Simpson and somebody with the last name Germano. And so what I found out is his wife's maiden name was Germano. And it's actually like the word German with the O at the end. And see, it says 2 daughters. Yeah, so this right here is actually the obituary of his father-in-law. His name was Rocco Germano. So I'm trying to find information about his wife. Her name was Florence. And again, the Foot Locker, I should include in this video anyways, but it stinks so bad. But it has USO on it, so I'm wondering if his wife, Miss Florence Germano Moore, after she married him, was in the USO, or who this lady named Sue Simpson is. I'm not sure, but it's pretty cool, though. It doesn't have a Foot Locker. I mean, it doesn't have the tray in the Foot Locker, but again, it's pretty roached, but it's still interesting. I'm definitely going to keep it, but it's definitely sad that this is here. Again, his autopsy report, just information from the hospital. But again, all of this stuff right here was going to be thrown away. It was at the curb. And trash actually picked up 2 days ago. And all that stuff is gone. The household items, the stuff from the kitchen, other, you know, all kind of paperwork and furniture. And I don't know how long the house has maybe been vacant or sitting there. I don't, again, know the circumstances of why it was gutted. But it is unreal, the stuff that was on the curb. And like I said, I made a total of 5 trips to do my best to find all of this man's military record stuff and everything. Anything of his that I could save that was salvageable. I was hoping to find his dog tags. I was hoping to find maybe his Navy jumper and his medals he might have been awarded. But I didn't see none of that. Again, I went Saturday evening. And trash picks up on Tuesdays, and so I don't know if the stuff was gutted, was it gutted Wednesday or Thursday or Friday? I don't know how long it had been sitting out there before I saw it, so there's a chance there could have been other stuff other people might have gotten to first. And, you know, it sounds kind of bad digging through somebody's trash or whatever, but again, I mean, I was just so determined to do all, once I saw the photo looking at me, and I started finding a little bit pieces of more, I was like, there's got to be more here. I'm going to keep searching and digging and stuff. It was like 1,000 degrees outside. I was sweating through my clothes looking for more stuff because I just didn't want it to go to the landfill. Unfortunately, like I said, a lot of other personal type stuff went, nothing military related, but I mean, there's no way I could have gotten it all. And it sounds bad, but a lot of it was nasty. Some of it had chemical stuff on it or food or whatever, but all the military stuff I'm pretty confident I got. So just want to let you guys know there's stuff still out there. Obviously, we don't necessarily want to find it under these circumstances, but if you do see stuff being thrown away, please grab it, even if you might not necessarily want it to keep for yourself or whatever, but just don't let that history get away from us. you know, it's humbling, and it's sad. But again, I'm going to do my best to continue to research his service and do all I can to, I guess, put the pieces of the puzzle together. It'd be interesting, like I said, to find out if his wife wasn't a USO, or why her last name is on there and all that. But again, guys, just kind of panning the table here. A lot of really nice, interesting photos here. It's basically like a timeline of this man's life in a way, of his service. And again, just looking at stuff like that, I'm guessing that's him and his buddies there. And you see that actually says picnic in Newfoundland. Again, I don't know what that, I can't pronounce that. Newfoundland, 1943. Just some other photos. Oh, look at that. Those guys are actually boxing. Somebody's getting socked in the face right there. Kind of boxing in action. But again, I could take an hour showing you all these photos individually and stuff. There's, I guess, one of his buddies. Here's some other men here. But anyways, again, it's kind of sad, you know, but anyways, I'm thankful that I decided to take a drive around the neighborhood, and then this ended up with me. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about it. I appreciate you watching so much. Just kind of looking again here. There's so much to show you. Just kind of getting to be lengthy here. But again, this is his son's stuff here, Marine Corps. Just a little bit of other military paperwork. The scrapbook has got some newspaper clippings from the 70s because his son played baseball. He was a pitcher in college, at a Catholic college. And again, just hopefully I can find more information about this man's service. Again, World War II, Navy Seabee. One thing I was going to say is I don't know what ship he was on. I saw one thing online, but it was so blurry I couldn't read it. But if anybody can help me find some information about what ship this man was on, his name was Julius Dudley Moore, 1918 to 1995. I'd love to find out what ship he was on and kind of more about his service. But anyways, guys, God bless you. I hope you think this video is interesting. Let me know what you think. And more videos are on the way. So thank you.